Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm going to set this down so I can see y'all. I really like this piano. I like it. I'm going to play a song now called The Tennessee Waltz. Thank you. What a great audience. Thank you very much. That is, of course, the Tennessee Waltz. My name's Tim, the Piano Man, and here's another one that I hope you enjoy.
She's from Tennessee.
You're from Tennessee? Me too.
I'm from Tennessee. I love that song.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, ma'am. It's my pleasure. This one is not out of Tennessee. This one's out of Louisiana, Shreveport in particular. Thank you very much. This next one, it's a song called Smoke Gets in Your Eyes.
You didn't tell us the name of that other one.
Oh, that's called Hey Good Looking.
Good looking, yeah. I recognize it.
I thought you recognized it. So much. This one's called Twilight Time. Thank you very much. Thank you. What a great audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I take requests, and if I know your song, I'll play it. And if I don't know it, I'll play something else. You know, I used to say if I don't know it, I'll play it anyways, but that got me into trouble a couple times. I've learned my lesson there. How about a song called Misty? Thank you. Thank you very much. Here's a country tune. This one, it's one of those country songs that's so sad, somehow it makes you feel good. This is Ray Price's For the Good Times. Thank you very much. Thank you. Remember, if you have a request, just let me know.
Anything but Greg Allman? Allman Brothers Band?
Allman Brothers Band.
If not, how about Bob Seger?
I think I could do one or both of those requests?
That's your choice.
All right, yes, sir.
Thank you.
Let's see. Thank you. Thank you very much. You know, I usually don't do the Allman Brothers, but I listen to them so much that that's a tune that I remembered, but y'all must forgive me because I can't remember the name of that tune. I know it's the Allman Brothers, but I can't remember the name of it. Is that it's like a, it's a dedication and then there's a woman's name. Jessica.
Melissa,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
you bet. He wrote this song, a little woman was at a grocery store calling her daughter Melissa, and he wrote this song in there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Oh. What a fantastic group.
I agree.
Fantastic. Now I've got to learn some more Allman Brothers.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun to play.
Yeah.
I also promised that well, I didn't promise, I don't think, but I mentioned that I would attempt to play some Bob Seger as well. And y'all have to help me here too. Did he do this song called Old Time Rock and Roll? I better play that one.
Bob Seger, yeah.
I'll play Old Time Rock and Roll.
That was their first hit.
It's not too early for some rock and roll, is it? It's past 10:30. Everybody had their coffee? I had mine. All right, let's have some fun. Jerry Lee Lewis. Yeah, I could do some Jerry Lee. I don't know if this piano would take too kindly to that, though.
Don't use your feet.
What'd you say?
Don't use your feet.
Don't use my feet? Well, ma'am, that's one request I cannot accommodate, unfortunately. Oh, you mean on the piano?
Yeah.
I thought you meant in general. Oh, okay.
You know, Jerry Lee's known for that.
Yes, ma'am. He's known for that and some other things that I won't bring up, too.
Since you're playing all that, how about Tommy Dorsey's Boogie Woogie?
Boogie Woogie. Okay, I can do that, too.
Tommy Dorsey. Boogie Woogie.
All right. Now, there's a couple keys that started sticking, so I'll do my best. I'll do Tommy Dorsey, and then we'll do Jerry Lee. How about that? Thank you. You know, I mentioned Jerry Lee Lewis. I'm not going to do it, folks, because there's a key that's missing that's very important to that Jerry Lee. And given the condition that I didn't detect this beforehand, I am reticent to play Jerry Lee because I'm afraid it might make more keys out of commission. Because it's not a very gentle song on the piano. This is a gentle piano. So y'all forgive me for passing that one up this time. But I will play another song. How about an Elvis tune? This one's called I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. Thank you. Thank you very much. What a great audience. Thank you.
Anything for Burt Bacharach and Al David?
Well, my favorite Burt Bacharach song to play is called Raindrops Keep Falling on My Head. I'll do that one. Great songwriter. Thank you very much. Thank you. What a great audience. Thank you. So far with requests, I'm doing okay. Pretty good for a baseball player. Speaking of which. Thank you. Que sera, sera. Thank you very much. Here's a song now. This one's a Louis Armstrong tune called What a Wonderful World. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I've got time for just one more. My name's Tim the Piano Man. Thank you so much.
Carole King.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, some Carole King. Great songwriter. Very talented. The Carole King song that I like to play is, which one is it?
Too late.
That's a good one, but that's not the one that I know. She did this song, You've Got a Friend, didn't she? Mm-hmm. I'll do that one. That's a beautiful tune. Thank you very much. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's it for me for today. My name's Tim the Piano Man. It's been a real pleasure entertaining you this morning, and hope to see y'all again very soon. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great audience.
I've never been to home show. I've never done it. Well, yeah, well, rock and roll. Carole King's old Jewish rock. Yeah, and mild rock and roll. All my brothers got
You think he went to the program?
I ain't never read them on either.
That was great, that was great.
Good to see y'all. Good to see you. How you doing, yeah?
Daryl, thank you for letting us come.
Y'all can stay for lunch. Y'all wanna stay for lunch?
So I guess we better not. I think she's got company.
I've got company that says Win Arkansas right now, and she can't get in.
She can't get in your house.
She's there, huh?
I mean, it says Win. but
Yeah, I
it
saw
says-
you running in and out. She is staying. I'll be in her. You're
Thank y'all so much for coming. I think they all go out here.
I'm doing okay. I'm still That's okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got company, I can hear now, so I gotta hurry.
He played that one for you.
Get out the ball, baby.
What he sure did.
All right, y'all take care. Well, good to see y'all. Take care.
Behave yourself.
Hello, Claire.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
Yes, it's good.
Yeah, us too, cause he come listen, was wanting to come play, and she said, hey, come on. Oh, well, I had to get a haircut. Y'all wait for her. No. Are you saying my hair looks bad?
Going to company here and I'm going
No, hon, I'm not.
No.
No, I'm not doing this.
You go ahead.
Wait.
Yeah, no.
Sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You know what?
What?
I love to play here a good piano player, and I really enjoyed you.
Thank you, ma'am.
It was good.
Thank you very much. That means a
Two or
lot.
three, I was like, I do part of it, but I just don't remember.
Well,
I enjoyed it.
thank you. You know, that happens to me too.
You got mine first.
Tennessee Waltz? So I played it and you didn't even have to ask.
Did you play it, Jonesboro, good for
Where you
you?
from?
Yes.
Thought I remembered you. And he played it, no, you played it.
I play it very often.
Oh, it's beautiful.
So are you from Jonesboro? Or did you live there for a
Well,
while?
we had to go over there for a while.
You might have it cooked
Right.
already.
And, it was, yeah, he after the tornado.
I understand. Yes, ma'am.
What is your name?
My name's Tim, T-I-M. Tim the Piano Man.
Where you from?
From Memphis.
Memphis.
Just down the road.
I used to go very often, I don't go very more.
Just down the road across the river.
She was scared when we.
Just down the road and across the river.
I know.
Way back here, way back here.
Used to go very much before since it's got
Smiled all the time.
Yeah.
Was younger than this guy.
Yes,
He
ma'am.
was grinning all the time.
Completely understand, yes. It's gotten mean in some places.
Wait
We
on.
don't like that. We're not proud of it.
I know.
It'll be comfortable pants to take it in my hair. Do her hair, she's got
But
one.
that way it's.
And oh, yeah, no, we know.
That's good.
When you just tap, and that's right,
Uh-huh.
back, like, around the airport, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little dangerous around the airport. Beale Street gets dangerous too.
Might not win, but I will be swinging.
But I stay safe.
I
stay safe.
Oh, you from there recently?
I've lived in Memphis since 1999.
Oh, well, you've been there a long time.
Yeah, they call me a Memphian, even though I was
Yeah,
born in the
that's what they
Northeast.
said. The word you're reason.
I was born in the Northeast in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, that's It's a long way.
How do you remember all them, writers?
I'm just a rock and roll guy. I got a great memory. I'm blessed.
Yeah,
Good Lord's blessed me.
you do.
Yeah. And a lot of them were Jewish writers. I'm part Jewish, so it's just natural for me to remember that.
Yes, ma'am, I'll be careful.
Burt Baccarat and Hal David made a ton of
Thanks,
money.
Tim.
Carol King made a whole lot
Thank
too.
you, you have a
Guy named Billy
fantastic
Joel, they done very well.
Thank you, well, I did my best.
They're all Jewish guys.
Remember all those different songs?
I can remember songs, but there's
I'm
some.
amazed that Billy Joel could play the piano. He was a Golden Glove boxer.
Oh, really?
It's a wonder his hands are not all busted.
Yeah. Who is this? Billy Joel. Oh, I like him.
He did a song called Piano Man.
Yeah, I can play that one, but not very good. I don't have music.
Well, this young man's really good.
Thanks, y'all. Oh, so nice to meet you. Yes, y'all do. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your request. I did play baseball when I was young, but
Nope. Just see my pro. You ever heard of George Thorogood in the Destroyers?
oh yeah.
He was a pretty good player, but he's a much better guitar player now.
Well, if he was semi-pro, he made it further than I did. I didn't get past the
He
little
was a
leagues.
semi-pro, yeah. I think it was a good choice.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thanks,
God
y'all.
bless. Thank you. God bless.
That's it for that one. We did some pocket time there. That was really nice. Nice people, very nice. Thanks for your requests, everybody. I'm sorry I didn't play them. The reason that I don't play a lot of the requests that I get is because most of the time, such as this time, I play at retirement communities. They probably would have liked Claire de Lune. I'm looking at my... They probably would have liked Moonlight Sonata too. I need to work on those two, honestly. I need to work on them. What a nice little community. I'm not going to be too specific about where it is, just to make sure that everybody's protected and that kind of thing. But I get to play at retirement communities full time. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just streaming my day, y'all. This is a day in the life of a full-time piano player. You know, I call myself a piano player, even though the technical term is a pianist. I am not a classical piano player. I'm not a classical pianist. I prefer the term piano player because I think it's more real, it's more indicative to what I actually do, which is I play the piano. Ali said, soon you'll become the best pianist there is. I appreciate your confidence. That is very nice. Very nice. Just wanted to tell you to keep going. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. That really does mean a lot to me. Wow. 27 miles left. I'm gonna have to stop for gas before I hit the road. It's 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm speeding. I need to slow down. I need to slow down. I did a drive and chat yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Hey, yesterday, I don't know if y'all know this, but yesterday, during my drive and chat, I was driving back from Tunica, Mississippi. So I live in Memphis, Tennessee, and I was driving back from Tunica, which is on Highway 61. It's a very famous blues highway. And I was doing this drive and chat, which was fun. And this guy who says that he is a physicist or studying physics, quantum physics at MIT tuned in. We had a very interesting conversation. it's fun to see where the intersection of physics and music exists. Physics and music. Physics and musics. Hey, ask me anything, y'all, if you have a question about what I do, about what my opinions are. Go ahead and ask me, and I'll answer it, honestly. I'll answer most questions. There are some political and geopolitical things that I don't comment on, but for the most part, I'm a pretty open book. Certainly not an expert in many regards. I am an expert in playing piano at retirement communities. In fact, I might have the most expertise at playing piano at retirement communities. I might have more than anybody else in existence. I played 600 shows last year. Hey, Quinnicon, thanks for tuning in. You watched yesterday's stream an hour ago. Thank you very much. Which one? I think I did 2. Did I do 2? No, I did, I can't remember. I cannot remember. Today's Thursday. I play so many of these, y'all. I can't remember which one I did. Thursday. Yesterday was Wednesday. Oh, yeah, that was a good one. I did 2 of them. 2 of them in this one community. The first one was at a piano, and the lighting was a little weird. Didn't get as many viewers on that. The second one was on a grand piano, and that one did a lot better. I think I got about 40 new subscribers, so thanks for subscribing, everybody. And on that one, almost 1,000 people tuned in, so that was nice. It's always nice to see almost 1,000 people tune in. So far, my record, I think, is 3,700. That's 3,700 people tuning into a live stream. Oh, Quinnicon, you watched the one in the car too. Thank you. That means a lot to me that you liked the topics we covered. It was honestly purely just chatting, just yapping in the car, driving and chatting, and that really interesting quantum physicist came along and had a lot of cool ideas. So that was interesting. Yeah, we talked about quantum physics. We talked about, what was it, the Heisenberg principle? Which is the idea that how you perceive something shapes its reality, at least in terms of light, whether it's a particle or a wave. Okay. I see my gas station. Here in America, I'm in Arkansas. And the gas prices in Arkansas, at least in this small town, it's a rural town, farmers around here, a lot of farms. Gas is under $3, so it's $2.75. $2.75. I'm gonna keep the stream going as I fill up. I splurged on gas. This is a Murphy's. So Murphy's is a gas company. It's an American gas company, and they're based out of El Dorado. Not El Dorado. even though it's spelled El Dorado. I'm pretty sure maybe that was named by the Spaniards when they came to America. But the locals pronounce it El Dorado. And Murphy's is a gas company outside of, well, in southeast Arkansas. And they have ethanol-free gas, so that's why I'm splurging. I mentioned just a second ago that the gas prices were $2.75. Well, I am spending a little bit more because ethanol-free, I think, is better for the engines. Ethanol itself is a very poor form of fuel. It's just not, it's not good. I don't know how that got into the gas supply in Memphis, in the United States. I'm thinking local. I don't know how ethanol got into the gas supply. It's crazy to me. I mean, there's a lot of corn in the U.S. Just a second. Farmers grow a lot of corn in the United States. I don't know if this was supposed to be like some kind of subsidy for the farmers, but it's not good. It's not good for the engines. All right. Now time to hit the road proper. It's about an hour to my next gig. This is pretty good. This is a strategy of basically it's like a stopover. I got this gig and I gave them a discount because it's in between where I live in Memphis and where I'm going in Jonesboro. I'm passing a wind farm. Now this is new. These went up very recently. So there's a wind farm in Jonesboro. Not Jonesboro. There's a wind farm in Wynn where I am. Oh, there's also fresh Cajun cuisine. So I try not to spend any money on the road. Nice coat you got there. Thank you. This is linen, and it's not properly tailored because when I play the piano, I have to roll my sleeves up, so it's a little long in the sleeve. But thank you very much. We're back. Yep. So I shared my opinions on ethanol. I'm passing a wind farm. There's a lot of wind in this small town in Arkansas. So much so that they actually had a tornado go through it. What was it, like a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago? And that was unfortunate. It was devastating. It wrecked a lot of really important buildings in this small town. I love what I do. I don't think I'm going to do this forever, though. I am, as the rednecks say, I'm making hay while the sun shines. Where am I going? I'm going to, I'm a piano player who plays piano at retirement communities, and I live in Memphis, Tennessee. I just played a show in Wynn, Arkansas, which is a very small rural area, but they have a retirement community, and so I played there and I got paid to play. Now I am 46 miles to Jonesboro, Arkansas. Not as small of a town. I think it might be 6 or 7 times larger than Wynn. It's a college town, but they also have retirement communities. So there's people that need these services, and the service that I provide to these communities is entertainment. I play their pianos and I get paid. And I play like 50, 60 shows a month. Hey, Quinnicon. You mentioned the 80-20 principle yesterday. Do you apply it in your everyday life too? That's a great question. It's easy to apply it to business or something that you have data on. data informs applying that principle. Quantitative data in particular. So in other words, if I'm looking at my business, and I will answer your question directly, but in a roundabout way. If I'm looking at my business and I can see that the action that I take, if I audit my time and I can see that 20%, that 80% of my gigs are coming to me when I take the action of calling a facility and booking a gig, then I know that that's what I need to do to make more money. So I'm going to concentrate 80% of my time on that 20% of the action. You subscribed from India. Thank you very much for watching from India. Thank you, my friend. Namaste. In my everyday life, I don't take as many quantitative measures in my everyday life. It's more qualitative. In particular, in my relationships, I have a girlfriend, and I don't know if it's as mathematical as 80-20, but I look for the things that I do, like the actions that I take, that bring her the most joy and satisfaction. And I will do those, and I will stop doing the things that bring her the opposite or don't bring her joy and satisfaction. So maybe in a way I do apply that principle in my everyday life, at least when it comes to my relationship. I love her, and I want to do the things that make her feel secure and taken care of and loved. So maybe in a way, but love is not something that I can really quantify. It's more qualitative, so it's harder to apply that principle. But let me think of maybe an example where I do apply that principle. Everyday life. Okay, here's a good one. So I'm a busy guy, and I like to meal prep. Basically, most of the meals that I eat, I'll cook in 1 or 2 cooking sessions, and then put everything in meal prep containers, and then just heat it up or eat it cold throughout the day. I want to make sure I'm conscious of the amount of protein that I get. I'm currently not vegetarian, although I was vegetarian at one time, but the amount of physical work that I do, I believe, requires me to eat meat, particularly red meat, in order to have enough energy throughout the day. All that being said is, that's a pretty good example, I think, meal prep, because I'm doing, instead of cooking a full meal every time I want to eat at home, instead I will cook 1 or 2 times a week and make 80% of my meals and 20% of the time. That's a good example. That's a good example. Meal prep. So I'm driving through the country. This is a rural area. So if the connection is spotty, that's why. I'm a piano player from Memphis, Tennessee. We're doing a live stream. This is a continuous live stream straight from a show, and then left the camera on and talked to people and got paid, and then we pocket time. So pocket time, basically I put the phone in my pocket and continue the stream in the car. I started doing that when I had multiple streams back to back, multiple shows rather. When I have multiple shows back to back, I need to walk to the next place. And the reason that I don't film myself like selfie style when I'm walking is because most of these communities that I play in are private or semi-private communities. And the residents that live there, the elderly, the seniors, it would be disrespectful, and I'd probably be breaking some rules if I were to film them without their permission. It's not a public place, so the laws in the United States are such that you can film in public. You can film people in public, and when they go out in public, they are basically choosing to sort of waive their privacy. If you go in a private place, though, it's different. So you can exclude. You have it's called the right of exclusion. That's one thing that I learned in real estate. So I was a real estate agent for a little while, and that was fun. And I learned a lot, but didn't make a ton of money. But I did learn that you have the right of exclusion in the United States. You can exclude people from your home, and it's legal to do that. Huge fan of the principle. Cool. Yeah, it's a great principle. You're a vegetarian. That's wonderful. I think that one should eat in the way that works best for them with regards to their own body, or perhaps in observance of religious principles. Quinnicon, do you live in the United States or do you live elsewhere? Where are you from? I'm curious. No, that is a no, that's not water. I thought that was a flooded field, but that's so interesting. What is this person growing? I'm driving through rural Arkansas, and it looks like they have all of these huge sheets covering their field. Maybe some kind of mineral treatment? I don't know. Farming is pretty interesting. It takes a lot of equipment and a lot of work, and there's a lot of risk too. Meal prep. Meal prep, that's a good example of the 80-20 principle in everyday life. It's easier for me to come up with examples in business because I have more data just by the nature of the business that I do. Like I can keep track of my actions that I take, the calls that I make, the texts that I make, the emails that I send, and then sort of analyze it that way. But yeah, meal prep is a good example in everyday life. I'm trying to think of other ones. Well, here's a forward-facing one. He's from Jupiter planet. Ha! Very funny. Here's a good example of a forward-facing one. So I work a lot. I don't know if this is part of your culture if you're watching, but in the U.S., people tend to work a lot. There's a lot of work and less leisure. Now, that has good points and it has bad points. Ooh, I'm past a solar farm. That's interesting. So there's a wind farm that I passed earlier, and now I'm passing a solar farm. What people are doing with their land is really interesting here. But anyways, I work a lot, and I play a lot of shows, and I'm building a business. And that takes time, and it takes sacrifice. And so what I have to sacrifice is leisure time. And that's part of my work ethic, is that I sacrifice leisure time. I don't have to sacrifice all my leisure time, but there's often times when I do have to work a lot. More specifically, I choose to work a lot because I know what I'm building and I have specific goals related to that. However, one of the things that I've sacrificed is cultivating a really core group, a really core social group. You know, I have friends and I meet up with them every once in a while, but this is a busy season. So one way that I want to, this is looking into the future, one way that I want to apply the 80-20 principle in my life is with the social group. And a way that I would do that is by gathering people together. Friends of friends. Like, if I took 3 hours on a weekend and gathered my friends together, all of them, and had them over and like maybe cooked or had a lunch or breakfast or something like that, played games or had a discussion, had coffee, something like that, that would, in my opinion, create the effect of building and solidifying a social group in a way that's a lot faster than having individual meetings with each friend on an individual basis. This is a practical consideration because when you're working all the time, okay, not all the time, but when you're working as much as I am, your time is limited. If you're a busy person, if you have goals, if you're working on something, if you're building a business, then your time's limited and your time's precious. So that's one way that I would apply the 80-20 principle moving forward. Now currently I have not been prioritizing my social life, for good or for ill. And I think there's a little bit of both of it, honestly. It's a season in my life where it's kind of lonely. But streaming helps, because that's a nice thing. I get to answer your questions, and we get to spend time together. So this is nice. This is nice. I'm getting something out of this too. But yeah, that's how I would apply the 80-20 principle. Quinnicon lives in Europe, Germany to be specific. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Guten Tag, guten Tag. I really admire German efficiency. When I was in real estate, the one of the men that I learned from was a German man, and his efficiency and his work ethic and his standards were very high. And that's, I think, in my opinion, and forgive me if this is generalizing, but that's one quality that I saw in him that I really admire, is his efficiency and his work ethic and his attention to detail. And he taught me about real estate contracts. So back when I was a real estate agent, he taught me about contracts, and he was the perfect person to learn from, because he was very specific and very meticulous, and he taught me well. So I thought that was really cool. I've never been to Europe or Germany. However, I would love to visit sometime. I would love to visit Europe. What a ancient place compared to the United States. Well, culturally, I mean, there's ancient cultures that were in the Americas. But the West, the foundations of the West, I would love to explore. I would love to explore that. You know, I have a cousin who lives in Germany. In Berlin. Some of the best pianos are made by Germans in the United States. Some of the best pianos. Bosdorfer? Yeah, that's a German piano. That's a beautiful piano. So strong. It's a strong sounding piano. Really like it. Wurlitzer, another good German piano. I think maybe Steinway is also German, although I'm not sure. Never been to the US, but you'd love to. What do I like about Europe? Oh my goodness. Well, there's so many diverse cultures. It's the foundations of the West. It essentially is the West. And some of the cultures that I'm interested in exploring, particularly the food of the Mediterranean. I love the food. I love the Italian food. I love the art. Italy, Florence, the Dutch art is beautiful as well. The culture. You know, it's kind of hard to answer that question, what I like about Europe, because there's so many different parts of Europe, you know. Whereas the United States, yes, we have different regions, and every region is somewhat different, but it's still like, it's under the same flag. But in Europe, in the European Union, there's so many different cultures and different peoples. That's part of what's interesting to me. It's like, it's roughly the same size as the United States geographically, but the worlds are, and the languages are much different. So you have to travel as far to enter a different world, and I think that's pretty cool. There's a lot more, it seems to be a lot more culturally dense. I mean, in terms of the population density. For example, I mean, there's just look at former Yugoslavia, right? The Balkans. So many different cultures, religions even. You have Muslims and Orthodox Christians, Catholics. And so much history took place in Europe, a recent history that affected the entire world. The entire world. I mean, if you look at the colonial powers, people are speaking the languages of these colonial powers today. English, French is spoken in parts of Africa and all across the world, in Quebec. Spanish speaking, there's so many Spanish speaking nations in the Americas because of the Spanish, a European power. And that's, I mean, they were exploring back in the 1500s. That was a long time ago, and they shaped the world that's the world today. The British shaped the world that is the world today. I'm not casting any judgment one way or the other. I'm stating the facts of what happened. So much of the world, it was shaped by Europe. You've been to Italy once and you love it. The landscape is unique. Very cool. What part of Italy did you go to? I'm curious. I love Italian wine, by the way. Italian and Sardinian. I mean, a good Barolo it's like velvet. It's exquisite. That's not Sardinian. That is the Piedmont region. That's kind of close to France. But Sardinian wine is my favorite because they have this particular winery called what is it? Well, my favorite wine is called Caladu, and the winery, I think it's called Cardadu, and it's minerally and it's complex and it's robust, but it's not too on the nose. It's not really fruit forward. It has like hints of volcanic ash. I like complex wines. It's my favorite. Lake Garda. I do not know where that is. I need to do some exploring. But right now, it's just wishful thinking for me right now. Talking about Italian wines and traveling Europe as I drive through rural Arkansas. But I'm happy. I'm happy because what I'm doing is making a difference. And it's growing. And I own the business. That's one thing I love about the United States, is that it's great for entrepreneurship. It's so good for entrepreneurship. The taxes are favorable to entrepreneurs. The tax system. And this might be the best place to start a business. Because, number one, you have access to the U.S. market, which is a consumer market. There's a lot of wealth in the United States. And the tax laws are favorable to businesses. It's a huge lake in the north of Italy with multiple small villages around. That sounds lovely. That sounds wonderful. In the north of Italy. Hey, I don't know if you've seen this. There's this American TV show called Columbo. And it's about this detective who solves murder mysteries. Columbo, and he's got this great style. He's very humble. And he always does this thing where he'll question somebody that's suspected for murder. And then they'll answer his questions and he'll be polite. He's not confrontational at all. He'll be polite. And then he'll leave the room. Well, he'll make you think that he's leaving the room. Then he'll turn around and he'll be like, oh yeah, I almost forgot. and then he'll mention the detail that's important, and the person will say something incriminating, and it'll get them. But anyways, that's Columbo. He's Italian American, Columbo being an Italian name, and he always says this really funny thing about Italians. You know, when it's mentioned, when Italians are mentioned on Columbo, in maybe 1 or 2 episodes, they talk about North Italy. And he says, "Oh yeah, they make them blonde up there," and it's true. You know, it's a different culture. There's more blondes in North Italy because I believe that it's more Germanic, population-wise, more Germanic. Hey, as Penicilla. Hey, welcome, my friend. Drive and chat again. Yes, exactly. I almost forgot you're the murderer. We were talking about Columbo, solving murder mysteries. Hey, welcome back, as Penicilla. We were talking about the conversation that you and I had yesterday, and there were some folks here that enjoyed it. So welcome back. Glad that you're here. I mentioned a little bit about quantum physics. This is roughly the same time, too, if I remember correctly. Because yesterday I played in Tunica, Mississippi from 10:30 to 11:30. Yeah. And I hopped in the car around this time and I started my live stream. Cool, good timing. I'm not in Mississippi. I'm in a different state. I'm in Arkansas, which is still considered to be the South. There's still good old boy politics. I've been reading about the history of Arkansas's politics, particularly Bill Clinton came out of Arkansas. He was the president of the United States from 1992 to 2000, I think. I think he did 2 terms. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I'm not going to mention anything, but there's some histories that say some pretty wild stuff about Bill Clinton. Oh, I better plug my phone in. We were talking about quantum physics. Boston's been westing me out. I don't know what that means. Is that a typo? You want to take a tour of America, particularly the South. Cool. Yeah, you know, we mentioned this yesterday, but I was born in Boston, Massachusetts. And in 1999, my family moved to Memphis, Tennessee. And I decided to go with them. I was 10 years old. I didn't have a choice. But living in Memphis and living in the South has shaped me deeply. I mean, I guess living anywhere for 25, 26 years will do that to you. So I can't escape some aspects of Southern culture. For example, I speak slowly, slower than I used to. I've got a drawl now. I say y'all. And I enjoy communicating, at my shows in particular, using pithy Southern aphorisms. But it's fun. It's like I get to be a character, in a way. And it's kind of a shtick. The shtick, it's like, it's a little bit of an act. And I'm okay with that, because I'm an entertainer, and I'm there to entertain, and I'm there to make people laugh, and it's cool. I forgot my name says I was born in 1986. Okay. Thanks for joining. 86, yeah. 86, that was the Reagan era. I was born in 88, in August, in like the last 3, 4, 5 months of the Reagan era. Did my phone die yesterday? No, I don't think so. Sometimes when I get a call, honestly, I haven't figured out how to put my phone on Do Not Disturb so I can stream without getting calls, but when I get a call, then the stream gets interrupted. Oh, Boston's been wearing you out. Oh, okay. Yeah, Boston is at least from what I remember, the last time I was there was 2005. I did the Berkeley Music School 5-week camp. That was a lot of fun. I was 16, learned a lot about music. But yeah, it's pretty busy, huh? And you're in school too. I can imagine that must be very tough. Does anybody know Chinese astrology? What's the sign from the year of 1986? I know 1988, which is the year I was born, is the year of the dragon. So I'm a dragon. What's 1986? By the way, some thoughts on astrology. I think that there's a lot of interesting stuff there, but I believe that there's a layer of astrology that can be true, or at least to the extent where it seems like there's a lot of coincidences in the way that people act, like certain signs act certain ways, but I never use it to get in the way of my plans. So I believe that the will can push through and supersede astrological determinism. So I'm certainly not a determinist by any means. I believe that everybody has free will to self-determine. Actually, I really enjoy quantum physics. I don't ever feel worn out. Oh, cool. MIT especially is really friendly. Well, that's cool. So, if school's not wearing you out, then what's wearing you out about Boston? Is it just the culture? Is it the traffic, the people, the politics? What's going on? Oh, I have an interesting story to tell about the Northeast, by the way. In 2017, I was playing in a band called the Ghost Town Blues Band, 2017 and 2018, and we did some touring. I only did that for a year because touring, the way that they did it was really very hard on the body, and I didn't like it. And I wasn't feeling that artistically fulfilled, and I didn't like working for somebody else because I'm kind of hard-headed. But anyways, we did a tour in the Northeast. I think we did Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Maine. We did a couple of dates in Maine, and we might have done one or two in Ontario or South Quebec, the Arcadia region, maybe. I don't remember. But they had this relationship with these lobster fishermen in the Northeast. These lobster fishermen, they put us up for the night, and they're friends, like they're partying, and they served us lobster, and I ate 2 lobster. They had this surplus of lobster, so I ate 2 lobster, which is really expensive, so they were being very generous. I ate 2 lobster. It was amazing. It was my birthday too, and I thought that was like the most decadent living that I would experience. 2 lobsters in one night, like, oh my gosh. Well, I don't know if you know about the Ghost Town Blues Band, but for the longest time they had this trombone player, and he was this black dude from Memphis with these dreads and this like huge personality. And he would dance on stage with his trombone. People loved him. Like he's so charismatic, and we were essentially roommates. Like we would get hotels. We get 3 hotels, and it'd be double beds. I mean, two queen beds essentially. And so we would room together on tour most of the time. And I thought that turns out that the year before, Suavo ate 14 lobsters. This dude ate 14 lobsters. Do you know how insane that is? He ate 14 lobsters. Can you imagine, number one, how expensive that is? And number two, just like the amount of the amount of room in your stomach you need to have to eat 14 lobsters, like dipping it in butter sauce. Oh my gosh. Have you ever heard of that? 14 lobsters. That is insane. That's freaking insane. Like how much is a lobster at a restaurant these days? I don't know. $100? 100 something like that? Like a full lobster? I haven't ordered a full lobster ever in my life. I don't think. Maybe I have once or twice. But if it's $100, that's like $1,400 meal. It was incredible. Anyways, that's Suavo, formerly of the Ghost Town Blues Band, and that's a story from the road. All right, getting back to these comments. The urban life is dull and repetitive. Nature, okay, interesting. Yeah, I get that. You know, there's a certain human beings, once survival need is taken care of, human beings, we need variety. You know, so if it's getting repetitive, then yeah, it sounds like maybe it's time to shake it up. Do I have a Discord server? No, I don't. That's interesting. Why would I need a Discord server? I'm genuinely curious. I did it once, but I don't have one right now. Alright, as Penicilla says, so like since where are you interested in music? Can you be more specific? I'm not sure what you mean. Since where are you interested in music? Like since when? Maybe? I've been playing music all my life. Been 5 years old. And the real interest in music came because when I was 12 and I was sort of figuring out who I was, I got a teacher that let me play jazz. And I thought that was cool. Like I liked the spontaneous nature of jazz music. And I applied that to playing with, so I made some friends in high school who played music and we formed a band. So it was social for me and that was really interesting. And we played jam music, which is basically like a mix of rock and jazz. So we played jam style music. We were a jam band and that was really interesting to me. And then all of a sudden I started going on stage and getting attention from female eyes, and I liked that a lot. So that was interesting to me too. I studied music in college. I studied jazz, and so it's always kind of been my thing, and I played in bands for basically since then. I'm 36 now, so that was a while ago, but it's my profession now, and I'm super grateful that I stuck with it. I forgot my name says, I didn't have a name. Everyone keep laughing at me all day. My IQ is 300, and my friend as well. Born in 1988 as well. Well, I'm not sure exactly if there's a question in there, but I'm glad that you have joined. Thank you very much. I have to leave for Illinois for a lecture about quantum states. See you later, Tim. Hey, thanks for joining us, my friend. I appreciate that. Tell us what you learn on the next one, or all that you can tell us. As in which subject? Piano, guitars? I'm not sure what you mean there. Oh, piano. I've always studied piano. There was a brief sort of stint where I did, where I thought that I would be like a multi-instrumentalist, because that's this, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, but I believe that it's better to specialize. And that's the capitalist in me. So I was talking about the United States, and that's the capitalist in me. If you go back to The Wealth of Nations, Adam Smith, he speaks to the efficiency and the efficacy of specializing in one particular thing. So in other words, if you make nails, this is his example, if you make nails all day, then you'll have a surplus of nails with which you can trade to get other things like, I don't know, shoes or barrels. And you might be better at making nails than you are at shoes or barrels. That's an 80-20. Going back to that 80-20 principle that we were talking about earlier. You might be better at making nails than you are at making shoes or barrels. So you make a bunch of nails, and you make more nails than you could have if you had made nails and barrels and shoes. And then with somebody that specializes in barrels or shoes. and you get higher quality because that's all that they're doing that day. So, or all day. So they can also get better at it and they can hone their craft. So that's basically the principle. A little tangent there. My favorite quote about capitalism is that it's the worst form of economic policy, except for all the other ones. So it's not without it is certainly not without its flaws, and it has a lot of them. But it creates so much more freedom for the individual, and that is the American way. That's why people love America. People love coming to America. Not necessarily America's foreign policy over the years, because that's been pretty atrocious. I'm just going to say it. I'm an American, and I don't agree with a lot of the foreign policy decisions that have gone on. But I'm not going to get too far into that. I said I wouldn't get too far into foreign policy and politics. See you later, as Penicilla. Appreciate you. I've seen people make Discord servers so they could build a community beyond YouTube. Huh. Notify members about live streams, share clips from them, gather feedback. Hey, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, you know, I love live streaming. I love it. If that could help me to grow, to reach more people, then I would consider it. I also have a TikTok too, at TimThePianoman333. At TimThePianoman333. I'm pretty sure that's it. That one, at one time, that was growing a lot faster than my YouTube channel. But since I started live streaming my concerts on YouTube, my YouTube has really grown. And thanks to y'all. Be sure to like and subscribe, by the way, if you're not subscribed already, to get notified about my live streams and to tune in. I appreciate it. Appreciate you watching. But yeah, since I've been doing live streaming my YouTubes, or live streaming my concerts on YouTube, like 40 days ago, I was at less than 500, and I crossed 500 subscribers on YouTube, and I was like, this is great. That was a big milestone for me. We celebrated. But now, oh my gosh, like, it's blowing my mind how many people subscribe when I live stream my piano shows. It's almost like people want to tune in and listen and enjoy the piano music. In fact, I'm being facetious, because that's what's happening. Folks are subscribing and watching, and I'm super grateful. The last time I checked, I had like 1,800 subscribers, which I didn't even think that was going to be possible. I started this YouTube channel 2 years ago, didn't really know what to do with it. But yeah, I love it. I'm getting into Jonesboro, y'all. I'm turning onto Harrisburg Street or Avenue, I'm not sure which one. I don't have my GPS. I've done this trip enough times to be able to navigate. I'm at 1910? Really? Hey. That's cool. So I'm going to shout out Nessie. Nessie is somebody that I pay. She's a very talented and special assistant, and she's Filipino. And when we have something to celebrate, she says that what they do, what her community does, is they use this Korean terms. Apparently there's Korean influences in where she is in the Philippines. When they celebrate, they go, Aja! So we're going to do an Aja for the 1910, for passing 1,900 subscribers. Aja! It's good to celebrate. I'm of the personality where I'm the kind of person that keeps working, and sometimes I forget to celebrate. So I have to like consciously make myself celebrate my wins. And that's a big win, 1,900. That's super cool. yeah, I'm definitely going to consider the Discord. It's not on my top priority. I'll have to do a little bit more research first. But I'll consider it. So here's a question then about the Discord. So I want to do more live streams, but I also want to make sure that I can grow my TikTok at the same time and my other channels. I'm thinking of doing like Streamlabs. I think you can stream onto multiple channels at the same time. So what are you thinking, Quinnicon? Would it be like grow a Discord server, get people on there, and then send a message or a notification or something, be like, hey, I'm going live at these times, be sure to tune in, that kind of thing? Yeah, I can see that maybe happening. Also, I haven't been doing that. Like, I have a schedule, I have a calendar. I should share my calendar. Why haven't I done that yet? I think it's because sometimes I don't know whether I'm going to be able to live stream or not. That's not all the places that I play. Like, okay, so here are the conditions for me being able to live stream. Number one, they have to have a piano. So I play at senior communities. Not all of them have pianos. Sometimes I need to bring my keyboard. And it's very, very low chance that I'll be able to live stream on my keyboard because I've tried to set it up and I can't get the piano in the shot. And so it's just me like looking up my nose. It's not a good angle. And so I get like not as many viewers. So it's harder to do that. Another reason why I wouldn't be able to live stream is sometimes, so I mentioned that these are private or semi-private communities. Sometimes there's no way for me to put to get a camera angle that wouldn't capture people's faces as they walk past. So sometimes the piano is in a high traffic area for, as far as foot traffic. And I don't stream if I'm not, if it's going to catch their faces, because I'm not supposed to do that, and I don't do that. In most cases, yeah. Sometimes I will by accident, but my intention is to never do that without their permission. And sometimes I'll play in a new place, and I won't know if that's the case, if their piano is set up in a place where I'd be able to do that. However, all that being said, there are places that I play regularly. In fact, 66% of my shows are regular gigs. So I can tell, and I can plan ahead with those ones. So yeah, I could do that. That'd be fun. My question is, do you think more people would tune in if they could put it on their calendar? That's my question. If I invited people to a live stream. Now that I have 1,900 subscribers plus, and yes, I'm tooting my own horn, I am very proud of that. That's so cool. We must have gone over the 1,900 mark on this live stream. It's this live stream. I forgot. Oh, there's an ambulance passing, so I'm gonna do the respectful thing and pull to the side of the road. Yeah, wow, this live stream's been going for 2 hours. Cool. This has been a dual live stream. This has been a multi-purpose live stream. I started out playing the piano, so there's an hour of piano playing, and then an hour of me just yapping and chatting, driving and chatting. Quantum from Boston tuned in. That's always cool. Our friend from Germany tuned in. Quinnicon still tuned in. Shout out, shout out. And this live stream, it's winding down. I just got to Jonesboro, and I have some errands to do. I'm going to the bank. There are so many emergency vehicles in the stream. As a European living in a village, it's stunning. Oh, that was just one. That was just one vehicle. That's one thing that is interesting to me too. The sirens in emergency vehicles, I believe, from what I understand, sound different in different parts of the world. So you just got, if you're not from the States, you just got an exclusive take into the sound of the sirens of emergency vehicles in Jonesboro, Arkansas. All right, y'all, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for joining me. In Germany, they're a lot more aggressive. Interesting. That is very interesting. I've had fun broadcasting, driving and chatting. Thanks for joining. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my other videos. I have plenty of videos in the live section and in the long form section. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see y'all again soon.